Well, hello, Catherine Langman here. Welcome back for another episode of the Productpreneur Success Podcast. And whoa, Nelly, apparently it's only around 6 weeks now until the jolly old man in red descends our chimneys, or not, depending on your beliefs, of course. Although I'm sure the term silly season might still resonate with you in regards to your business right now, if you are an e-commerce business. And in our academy group, in our coaching group, we've actually been running a 6-week challenge with our coaching clients, mapping out their Christmas and their Black Friday promotions right from the initial audience and list building through all of the planning and content creation to building out all of the assets and the tech parts to driving traffic and closing sales. And we are getting close to the end of this challenge now and giving out a prize for the most successful campaign. I really can't wait to see all of the results that they will be getting. And I will say it's been a lot more fun than the usual 6-week challenges that I see around. They usually involve too many burpees and not enough chocolate for my liking. But that said, this has, of course, been a lot of hard work. And I am sure that all of you listeners and viewers of this show are also working frantically right now to really try and keep up the momentum and squeeze out the last drops of productivity, out of the calendar year before hopefully taking a well-earned break to spend a little bit of time, hopefully with your loved ones. So today on the show, though, I really just wanted to talk about Christmas marketing, and specifically, I want to just give you a few last-minute tips and suggestions to help you make the most of the remainder of 2022, and also just show you a few examples as well to hopefully inspire you with things that you might be able to add to your promotional campaigns right now in order to get the best results possible. So I'm going to showcase some examples along with this episode. So for those of you who are just listening to the audio version, you might want to head over to my website to check out the video so that you can see what I will be showing on screen as well. So you'll be able to find the video episode on catherinelangman.com/episode 148. All right, so let's dive in. And really, my number one tip to success in general, but especially at this time of the year, is to keep it simple. Because right now, the digital landscape is going through a very noisy time of year. Businesses and brands everywhere are sending out a lot more marketing, than they normally would. So more ads, more content, more emails, more everything. And when you think about it, on a good day, customers see between 6,000 and 10,000 marketing messages per day. But at this time of the year, that volume of marketing messages is really ramped up. In the words of Nigel Tufnell from one of my all-time favorite movies, Spinal Tap, we've turned it up to 11. So to have a successful e-commerce Christmas promotion, it's really important to put together a few, a really targeted, highly desirable, eye-catching campaign that is focused exactly on what your customers want. Otherwise, you're going to get lost in the festive forest that is our email inbox and our social media news feeds at this time of year. Now, that being said, we don't want to make this difficult to achieve, all right? It doesn't have to be difficult to achieve. In my experience, a little bit of nous around what your customers might buy at this time of year, coupled with some great looking imagery and some consistent communications, and you will be winning. So I'm going to go through some suggestions for you now, and you should be able to take something away from this, whether you are already midway through executing your Christmas promotion or you are just frantically trying to get something moving now, ready for Black Friday, and then plan to swing into some last minute Christmas promotions after that. So let's dive in. And my first tip here is to be attracting and engaging audiences to help increase desire and demand for your products. And so what do I mean by this? I really want you to sort of think about what your promotional theme for your Christmas campaign might be. And by theme, I'm not talking about what specific offer you might be rolling out or anything like that. I'm talking about a theme that you can anchor your content around, your marketing content. So for example, one of our clients in our coaching group is Poppy and Daisy Designs, and they have the most gorgeous eco-friendly craft kits for children. So they do make great gifts, of course, but their theme that they are working around and working to is a very crafty Christmas. And another idea would be from our client French Soda, which is give the gift of adventure. So French Soda sells outdoor rainwear gear, which of course is highly appropriate for many parts of Australia, like where I am here in Adelaide, that is raining at the moment. But, you know, their whole brand really is about encouraging outdoor play and, you know, getting dirty and playing in the mud and puddles and all of that kind of stuff. So give the gift of adventure is the theme for their Christmas campaign. So, you know, still talking about Christmas and gifting, but making it relevant to their brand, which is, of course, going to be relevant to their audience. So once you've really thought about that, and you can think about this today, even if you are still already in the middle of executing your campaigns, and then think about what are 10 stories or scenarios that fit within that theme. And so this might be things that your customers might do if they are using or playing with or consuming the products that they've bought from you. But, you know, think about those everyday scenarios or the things that, you know, might be really familiar to your audience. And then you want to use those stories or scenarios to inspire some content that you can create. And by content, I'm talking about things like, you know, reels for or images or graphics or GIFs that you might share on social media, or images or GIFs that you might use in emails or on your website, those sorts of things. So, for example, Poppy and Daisy Designs had one scenario or story which was around the idea of how to make snowmen decorations for your Christmas tree. And so when you think about, you know, a crafting brand, you know, all of those sort of almost like taste made videos, if you know that, the taste, is it taste made? The, you know, bird's eye cooking recipe channel on social media. I don't even know exactly how to describe that, but hopefully you know what I'm talking about. So Poppy and Daisy Designs, you know, they do a really good job with the crafting videos and just really showing, you know, the sorts of scenarios or stories or activities in their case that would be really enticing for their customers, in line with that Christmas promotional theme. So also when you're thinking about the content that you create at this time of year, at all times of year, but especially at this time of the year where you're trying to really ramp up your marketing and your promotions, what is the type of content that's getting the most engagement and reach right now? And I think you can all answer that. It's Reels or video generally, but Reels video content is really getting the most reach and engagement. It's being really shared out more broadly by the algorithms on the social media platforms. And so you're going to get a lot more bang for your buck, or a lot more return on effort, as the saying that I like to go for. So that's the first tip, really thinking about creating the right content to attract and engage the audiences that will help increase desire and demand to buy your stuff right now. The next tip is about list building, audience segmentation, and creating custom audiences. And for this, I just want to briefly give you an overview of the strategy that is working right now when it comes to traffic, and paid traffic in particular. And if you really want the detailed overview or detailed training really of this strategy, then you might want to check out my recent workshop replay, which you can certainly get as well. I'll put the link on the show notes page on my website for that. But this traffic strategy that is working right now really does require you to have a good understanding of really how the algorithms are working, how tracking of metrics is working, and how we can kind of get around the situation that has been at play since the Apple iOS update 18 months ago, that really changed the way that we can run our digital marketing ads. So ever since then, we really have had much more limited metrics tracking from our advertising. I'm talking about social media advertising specifically. And so what we really need to be able to do is play to the advantages of the platforms that we own and have a system in place that helps us to still win at the end of the day. So the strategy really is called in, off, own. And so in means within the platforms, you are attracting the right audiences and really warming them up. We can track 100% of the metrics on these platforms in terms of the performance of any content that you create, whether it's organic content on social media or the ads. So you want to be creating these reels, right? And the other content on your social media that's really going to attract and engage that audience and really kind of prime the pump, ready for them to want to buy from you. Once you've done that, then you want to send them off to your website, but you want to get them, obviously we want them to buy, but we also want them, we want to own our own database. So we want to get them onto our email list, okay? And of course, I'm talking about using Klaviyo here for a number of reasons, and largely because of how clever the system is for e-commerce. If we can build our own database of our own audience, then we can use that audience to feed back into our advertising, as well as, of course, use it in our email marketing and SMS marketing as well. And so building an email list in advance of any big promotional period really ought to be, a big part of the strategy. If we can be always list building, that is really the ideal, but certainly in advance of a highly promotional period of time, we want to really put some extra grunt behind that list building effort so that we have a much bigger email list to then go out to. And we are going out to it on email and hopefully SMS as well, but importantly, that email list then gets synced back into Facebook, and because we own our own email list, we can target that list with ads. We're not impacted by any compromised pixel tracking along the way. So if I can pick on our client No Nasty's Kids in New Zealand, in advance of this current Christmas promotional period, we ran a couple of giveaway competitions we're giving away some of their kids' play makeup sets. And we grew their list by around 1,000 contacts, which for a business that's only about 18 months old over there was pretty huge. So that was a super successful list building effort. Now, right now, when you're going to be listening or watching to this episode, you probably don't have time to do a giveaway like that. However, what you can do is look at the statistics on your current list builder. So if you have a pop-up opt-in form, if you have an embedded form, or if you have both, have a look at their statistics, their metrics in your account. Hopefully you're using Klaviyo, but whatever account you're using to do your, build your email list and run your email marketing, have a look at the opt-in stats. Excuse me while I have a sip of water. Been talking all day. Anyway, so you want to look at the form submit rate, and then you want to have a look also at how many emails have actually joined your list in, per week or per month in the last little while. You want to be looking at a form submit rate of at least 5%. And if you haven't got that, then you really want to just look at that opt-in form. What can you possibly do to try and just, improve that opt-in rate as simply and easily as possible? It might be looking at it really objectively, is it eliciting an emotional response from your viewers? You need to have that kind of emotive image on the opt-in form, unless, of course, the website behind it is really, really, really busy. But we tend to find that an opt-in form that has an image that's really going to elicit an emotional response from the viewer, as well as, you want to have the right kind of headline and incentive to really motivate people to jump on your list. So it doesn't always have to be a discount incentive. It could be something else, but you need to just have a look at it objectively. And, if you feel you can, ask other opinions as well, hopefully from your customers. But, perhaps, if you have somebody who knows about these things that you could ask, to see if there's something that you could do to improve, because the more people you can get on your email list, the better right now. But next, aside from growing your email list, there's a couple of other things I really want you to do right now. These are really quick, easy wins. You can all do this. Number one, in your Klaviyo email account, what are some email segments that you can do, you can set up that you can use to, via email marketing, of course, but also to create custom audiences and lookalike audiences inside your Facebook ad account, so that you will have better success with your Facebook ads when it comes time to roll out advertising, to promote your Christmas promotions, to promote your Black Friday promotions, etc., etc. Now, you really want to make sure that you have segmented your subscribed list in Klaviyo into segments such as look at the engaged lists. So you can pull up, say, a 30-day engagement audience. You can pull up a segment of engaged piece. So by engaged, it's like people have opened or clicked or purchased in the last however many days. So you could do a 30 days, you can do a 60 days and a 90 days. Additionally, we find it's really, really powerful to set up a segment in Klaviyo of anyone who's purchased for sure in, say, the last 6 months, or you might go 12 months if your business hasn't got a huge audience right now. Additionally, look at what are your customers buying? Can you, do you have some products in your store that are perhaps bundles or, more expensive products? Perhaps if you're a hamper company, look at, or you sell gifts in a hamper scenario or in a bundle scenario where it's a higher average order value. Set up that custom audience. You have to have had enough sales of that order value for the audience to work, as I'm about to explain. But if you can, if you have enough to create a segment of that, it can work exceptionally well. So once you've got these segments set up in Klaviyo, then you want to actually integrate those with your Facebook ad account and set up custom audiences based off those Klaviyo segments. And once you've done that, then you can also set up lookalike audiences. So we would use lookalike audiences based off a Klaviyo segment of purchases, not just of engagement, okay? And those audiences are going to help Facebook, help the algorithm to find more buyers, more people in your audience that are likely to be your buyers, because they are, they have characteristics in common with your customers, if that makes sense. So those audiences would be things that you can easily set up. Additionally, inside your Facebook ad account, you want to be setting up some saved audiences based off things like engagement. And one tip that I want to give you here is, if you've been creating reels or other video content for your social media platforms, you need to set up some custom audiences based off those video views. And the thing with the video view audiences is that you actually have to keep updating the audiences to add in the new videos, so that anyone who has looked at a recent video is still going to fall into that engagement-based custom audience and be retargeted with your middle of funnel or bottom of funnel, or essentially your warm audience / retargeting ads on Facebook. So that's a little bit of a nutshell, but there are a couple of quick wins there. They won't take very long to set up, and it will really, really, really help with the performance of your ads. Tip number 3, if you haven't already, I want you to be deciding on your promotional offers. People are buying for gifts mostly right now, but there are other ways to tailor your marketing messaging and your advertising at this time of the year. So if I share an example from my own previous business, which was a modern cloth nappy brand, people don't buy cloth nappies as gifts, not usually. I mean, unless it's one cloth nappy lover to another. Yes, people do get fairly passionate about that particular product category, so maybe that happens a little bit, but mostly it wasn't really a gift type product. So what I did to really help increase the reason for buying, or give people a reason to buy, was to have some fabric prints custom made or custom designed to be very kind of festive and Christmassy. So one year we did a candy cane one, another year we did a little gingerbread man print, And so, you know, that kind of gave people a reason to buy at that time of the year. Another example for other people, you know, who perhaps want to tell me they don't have a gifting product, so there's no point running any marketing right now. Let me tell you about Elizabeth, who is one of our coaching clients, and she has Immunity Fuel is her brand. So she's in New Zealand and Australia, and so her product is a probiotic supplement. And you know, for me, I'm sort of thinking, well, coming into this kind of party season and festive season, we're all eating a lot more food generally. We might be indulging a little bit more, food and wine and, you know, all of that kind of stuff that we wouldn't perhaps always be consuming all year round. And so, you know, to go out with a message or a promotion that's encouraging people to get ready for that with their probiotic supplements, it's going to help them with their, you know, their digestion and their health and all of that kind of stuff. So there's ways that you can come up with, you know, giving people a reason to buy that might not be gifting per se. If you do have a gifting product, we're going to talk a bit more about, you know, how you can incentivize people to buy at the moment. And I want you to think about, is there a way that you can try value packs or bundles at the moment? Because people often, customers, they really want the easy option right now. And so if you give them a bundle or a gift pack or something like that, it takes a lot of the thinking out of choosing gifts. Plus, of course, it gives you a better average order value, which is going to be good for you. You can also look at things like gifts with purchase. You can talk about stocking stuffers, teacher gifts. You can, you know, do things like free gift with free gift wrap and gift card. You can talk about free upgrade to express shipping or just free shipping, right? And so you can even space some of this stuff throughout the weeks and the days and weeks coming over the next period of time. If you are looking at Black Friday specifically, I would highly recommend that you do something that is just a store-wide or a collection-wide discount, because and with no coupon required. You just want to keep things really simple and really easy for the customer. Don't make it too hard for people to figure out how to get your deal, because if you do right now, when things are so cluttered and chaotic in the, you know, the online environment, lots of, you know, advertising and marketing messages, people just, you know, we're distracted, right? So just make it easy. Don't add extra hurdles to get through the checkout. Make it a straight priced as is type offer. Next tip number 4 is to get your gifting and Black Friday promotional content ready to go. I always like to, you know, try and work in this kind of an order so that I'm not trying to, you know, keep coming back to, you know, redo steps along the way. So if you try and get things planned and then get the content created and then move on to building and executing, you'll find that you can work in a more efficient, productive manner, and it won't feel like you've got so many balls in the air, so to speak. So here, you really want to try and make your website and your emails and all of your marketing look a little bit more festive. So here, you could, you know, you could have a look at doing a new homepage banner and a collection page banner if you've got a Christmas collection. Maybe bundle product images, maybe jazz up your logo a little bit even by, you know, adding something that's kind of a Christmassy element. Whether, I mean, I remember with my last business, we had a little kind of a cartoon of a baby as part of our logo, and we would sometimes put the, you know, a Santa hat on his head, that sort of thing. And so for here, if I can just hopefully make the technology work, I just want to share my screen here and show you an example here of a Christmas image and, you know, landing page on a website. So you can see here it's nonastyskids.co.nz, and this is this beautiful looking Christmas hero image, banner image here. We're promoting the Christmas collection and offers as well. And you can see some beautiful images here to promote the Christmas bundles as well. So, you know, it's looking super, super pretty. So that's not particularly difficult to execute, you know, coming up with that kind of a Christmas hero image on the website, which you can, of course, reuse you might need to resize it, but you can reuse versions of this in your emails as well. And another tip really would be to create a special kind of Christmas or festive looking email template. And you don't have to make this difficult to execute. You can have a duplicate of your normal email template in Klaviyo and just jazz it up a little bit, maybe add that kind of Christmas treated logo at the top, or you could change the color palette a little bit, maybe use a little bit of red or a little bit of green or whatever it is, maybe add a few kind of snowflakes to the background. You don't have to go over the top. You still need it to be on brand, but try and make it stand out a little bit so that people can realize, when that email hits their inbox, it's like, oh, this is relevant for right now. So they might pay attention in a way that they might not have otherwise. And you can do the same with, your social media content. So, creating that, giving your social media graphics a bit of a festive treatment, whether it's a little bit of, animated snow over the top, or some sparkle, or something, whatever is on brand for you, of course. And not everybody, or not every brand has, the glitter and sparkle like No Nasty's Kids, of course. But just make it look like it belongs in a festive season promotion is what I'm saying here. And so you can do that for your social media graphics, any kind of offer announcements or reminders, or ending soon type messages, any of that kind of content for social media. Give it a bit of a festive treatment. And of course, do it in sizes you can also use in your emails and your ads as well, so that you're not having to create a whole lot of new stuff for each different channel. And then, when it comes to really getting your content, your promotional content ready to go, try and prepare your emails in advance. And here I really wanted to show another example. Hopefully I can do this using the share screen thing here. And so this is an example of a email from No Nasty's Kids, where we are promoting their Christmas bundles again. So I showed you the landing page where all the traffic goes to, and here's one of the emails that people get. So, these circular kind of image graphics is quite a common theme with this brand, but we've given it a bit of a festive treatment there with making the headline look like a Christmas bauble and a bit of, gifting stuff going on. And, the theme sort of continues throughout the email there. So get your kind of, even if you're just getting the images and the text ready to go into the emails as a first step, that can be really super duper helpful for you to, feel like you're organized and on top of preparing and rolling out your campaigns. The next thing that I really want you to think about is, making some tweaks and optimizations to your website for this peak season period of time, because this, typically is the time when a lot of customers are either already shopping or getting ready to shop like crazy through Black Friday. And so we want to make sure that we are set up to handle that and to also make the most of it, right? To try and increase conversions as much as possible. So number one, just make sure you have a bit of a look through your website on both mobile and desktop. It's always a good idea to do that every now and again, especially if you've made some updates or changes throughout the year. You might want to just check that, things like your call to action buttons are above the product description so that people don't have to scroll to find how to add to cart. Making sure things like your shipping options are really clear and well communicated upfront, particularly with the cutoff for last shipping dates if people want to receive it before Christmas. It can be helpful also to add a Christmas landing page or a gifting blog or something along those lines, like the one I just showed you before from No Nasties. So really just trying to do what you can to make sure you've got the right information there, as well as, optimizing things for conversions. Some other things that you can check on are, that you've got really, the right images for the products and for the landing pages and collection pages. Checkout process is easy, no kind of surprise costs at the end, like, you know, people have to get all the way through the checkout in order to figure out how much the shipping costs. You don't want any kind of that sort of stuff. That's just going to cause people to abandon their cart. Next tip is about running ads to drive traffic and sales. Now, hopefully it goes without saying that we need to be driving traffic to our site in order to get some sales. There would be definitely a number of changes happening in the paid ad world at this time of year, because there would be some advertisers who really just come in to spend money on ads at this highly promotional time of year. And then there will be other advertisers who are pulling back because the costs have gone up because of that influx of advertisers. However, if you've done what I've said earlier, where you have the right content going out to really attract and engage the right audiences, and using the kind of content that the algorithms are going to feed out and give you the most reach on, and you set up those custom audiences of engagement and video views and those saved audiences and the integration with Klaviyo and your ads manager, you will have an advantage here, you know, because you are able to, you know, you've got that kind of engagement and priming the pump happening with your content, and you're also able to use the, you know, it's such a clever integration between Klaviyo and Ads Manager that, you know, you're basically showing ads to a mostly warm audience, but you're also feeding this really great data back to the Ads Manager, which is putting that data into the algorithm and helping the Facebook ad algorithm, and the same happens on Google now, to be able to use that data to find new customers for you. So definitely you want to be running ads at this point in time. And I really wanted to just show you another example from No Nasties of one of their Christmas ads at the moment. Let me see if I can show this one. This is just in the Facebook ads library, but hopefully you guys will see it in your news feed as well. And so you can see this is using a short little video with a little bit of graphics treatment as well, just giving it, you know, a bit more of a sparkly treatment. Which is fantastic, super cute. So, you know, that sort of a ad is definitely going to attract the right audience and get people clicking through to purchase. Now, when you are running your ads, of course, you want to make sure that they are working for you. And so you do need to be trying to keep across the results and the metrics inside your ads managers. So what you need to be looking for is, you know, how many people are clicking through to your website from these ads, how many people are looking at the products, how many people are adding to their cart, how many people are actually purchasing, what that average order value is and the purchase value, and then, you know, what did it cost you and the return on ad spend. So you can customize your ads manager results table to add all of that information in, and it will give you all of that data. Now, I'm fairly sure I've got a whole podcast episode all about being able to interpret your ad metrics and what to do with that information. So I'll find that one and I'll link to it from this podcast as well. But, you know, you don't want to just kind of throw some ads up and just assume that they're going to work. You really want to, you do want to keep track of this and make sure that they are having the desired effect. Now, at this time of year, because it is busier on the ad platforms, you need to make sure that you are giving the ad platforms a good day to get through the review and approval process. So don't try and turn ads on the minute you want them to show. You've got to set them up and preferably schedule them in advance. And then, you know, don't try and look at them every 5 minutes and you know, to make decisions based on such short windows of time. You want to give them several days to really gather some data and for some attributions to start flowing through. Also, though, have a look inside your Shopify dashboard or your Google Analytics account and see, are sales going up? That's what you want to see, right? On to tip number 7. This is really once you get through to the end of your promotional period. So obviously throughout all of these steps, I'm assuming that you're going to be implementing and executing and getting all of this marketing rolling out to your audiences. Once you get to the end of the promotional period, though, don't just kind of throw it all in a drawer and shut it and not think about it until next year. What you really want to do is to delve into the results, delve into the metrics, see what worked and what didn't. And this doesn't just have to be metrics like, number of orders, average order value, conversion rate. I don't just mean that, although I definitely do mean include that information. You also want to think about, your own experience going through this kind of campaign. And, you intuitively or personally from what you've been working on, what do you feel like worked well and what do you feel like did not work well? And because what can happen is we get 12 months down the track to do our next Christmas campaign, and it's really hard to remember what we did and why we made certain decisions or, decided to do this or decided not to do that, so write it down now. And it doesn't have to be a, big highfalutin report that you might have done once upon a time in a corporate career. Just write it somewhere where you can keep it and you know where to find it, and that you can come back to it next year and learn, do better next time based on your learnings from this campaign. So really hope that most of you, if not all of you, will add that last step in, that review step. And on that note, that does bring me to the end of today's episode. I hope that you've enjoyed it. It's a little bit different today. Hope that there's been one or two things I've mentioned today that you can implement to help you get the best possible results with your festive marketing this year. And if you have really enjoyed this episode and you know somebody else who has an online store and might be wondering how to get the most out of their Christmas campaign this year, please just share the episode with them. It's super easy to share. Just go to the platform you're listening to it on, and there will be a share link next to the episode that you can send in a message. Really, really easy. And last but not least, of course, if you are looking to get, really elevate your game with your, growing your business, growing your brand, and learning how to do that in a way where, it feels a little bit more guided and supported with some been there, done that before experience, then please give me a shout. I can help you shortcut your business growth journey. And you can find out a little bit about that by reaching out for a free strategy session. So just head over to catherinelangman.com/work-with-me, and you can go and book that into my calendar or our calendar. But that is the end of the episode. I really hope you've enjoyed it. Have a fabulous rest of the day and week, and really wish you all the best with your Black Friday, with your Christmas promotions, and just keep putting one foot in front of the other. I know it is a full-on time of year. I'm sure you are all doing really, really great work right now, and I just want to really encourage you through this period of time. So that's it for today. Look forward to being with you again on the show next week. Bye for now.